family and friends. This is part 2 of the Pysanky egg, the Ukrainian eggs that I am working on. And in part 1, we shared a little bit about their history of the egg and how there's so much symbolism in them with the color and the design and the patterns. So in this phase of it, I'm going to be making the dyes, and I thought you might enjoy seeing that process. Inside of each of these little envelopes, there is another little pouch of dye, and you need to follow the instructions that are on here. Now this one says to use 1 1/4 cups of boiling water and a tablespoon of white vinegar. And when I was reading in the book, they did say to add the vinegar first to dissolve the dye crystals, and then you add the water and you let it cool. So I'm going to open up this pouch and put it in here. This is the scarlet, and this one is the black. And this one you also use the vinegar. So the only one I will not be adding vinegar to will be the orange. All the rest of them will be getting a tablespoon of vinegar. The next step is to add the vinegar, and I'm using the distilled white vinegar. Any brand, I don't think it makes a difference. So again, I'm going to put the lid on this one so I don't accidentally put vinegar on it, but the others I will be adding the vinegar. 1 tablespoon. Now all of them do take 1 1/4 cups of distilled water. So taking my measuring cup, and I'm taking distilled water, and I'm going to measure out 1 1/4 cups. And this one I did a little bit ago, so it has cooled off. You don't want to use it hot, because that will end up melting your wax. So you do want to use hot water to get everything mixed, and then let it cool, and then you can start dyeing your eggs. These little cups I had, I wrote what the colors are on the lids so that I will always know, because I'm not going to be able to keep these. So I did take and used my wax to cover up the holes for the dye for the egg that was blown out, because you don't want the dye to go inside of the egg. So I did make a little plug with the wax that I was using, and they don't say how long. To keep these for. You're going to end up with yellow fingers. It looks pretty strong color. We'll see what happens when I take it out and blot it dry. I think I'm going to keep the popsicle sticks in here so I know what the colors are while I'm using them. But I also think I'm going to need them to keep them down inside the color. I'm going to take this one out, and let's see what happens. I don't want to rub it, I only want to blot it. And then I'm going to let it set and dry. But the color looks nice and strong. And I can still still see my lines that I need to do the wax over. So that's the yellow, and we're done. The next one up is going to be the light green, but that has to cool quite a bit. Okay, so I've got my egg dyed yellow. I blotted it off and I let it dry for a while. And now I'm going to start covering the starburst lines. I had to clean them up a little bit. And that's what I'm going to keep yellow. And then we'll put it in the green dye. So here we go with the next color. Ooh, wow. So I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to take this out. And I'm going to gently blot it. And I'm going to let this set and dry for a little bit here. Just let it dry. So it looks like what I'll be doing next is the one to the left, skip, and then the next one. The one on the left, then skip and do the next one. So it looks like I'll be filling those in. That's the next step. I love the way the wax turns black so you can see your lines very easily. See what you've done. Now what I'm supposed to do, now that I got the green covered, I need to go wash it to remove some of the dye. Okay, so I gently ran the egg under the water, and you can see it's taken it, they call it a backwash, taken it back to as much as you can as the original color of the egg. But you don't want to rub the egg because you could remove some of the wax design that you've got on there. Now we're going to put it in the orange. Ooh, okay, that would not have been good. I'll end up with orange furniture. Flashback to the 70s. All right, well, let's see what happens here. The design in the book has, if you can see it, they have little dots at each of the chevrons, but I didn't get my spacing right, so I'm going to not do those little dots, but I am going to leave the chevrons on there. And I am going to dip this in red now. Christina has a big heart. So I think what I'm going to do is maybe put a little heart in each one of the quadrants. For this part, I'm going to improvise. Good morning. So today is the day we're going to reveal what this looks like. The wax now needs to be removed. So I have fashioned an old cookie sheet, and I covered it with parchment paper, and then I took the top of an egg carton and I used one of those skewers that you tie the end of a turkey with, and that's sticking up. Let me see if I can pull one out real quick of my drawer here. One of these things. So I have that coming up through the bottom of the egg crate, and then the egg is just sitting on it. So I'm heating my oven to 125, and I'm gonna put it in there, and I'll check it like every 15 minutes to see what's happening, and then when I come back I'll show you what it looks like. Hopefully it turns out pretty, but we'll find out together. See you in a few. Okay, I just took the egg out of the oven. I had to up the temperature to 150, and it's been in for probably about a good 30 minutes, and I'm going to try and wipe off all the melted wax. But look at that. Okay, I'm excited. I'm very excited. So I'm just going to take, oh look, the little heart, and just wipe off what I can. And then I'm going to put it back in the oven and let it continue to melt more of the wax, because I can still feel it on there. Of course, this is not the best, but it is my first. I mean, you can see my lines are so uneven. And anyway, for my first one, I'm excited. It's close to the picture. All right, so check it out. My very first egg. I'm pleased with it. I mean, I have a lot to learn, but I mean, you can see it's a little uneven and whatnot. But how fun is that? So the next step is to get it varnished or sealed, and I'll show you that in just a minute. Okay, I went outside to varnish the egg and the wind caught it and blew it to the ground and broke it. I don't know if you can see that, but look. Oh, I was just heartbroken. But that's okay. This will be my practice egg. I'm going to do another one. I'll determine if I'm going to use the same pattern or a different one. But that's where we're at. So things happen, that's okay. Just continue to make it a gorgeous day every day until the next video. Bye.